Hello everybody, Mike Fifer, Fifer Hobby Supply. Happy Father's Day to those fathers out there. This video may miss it by a little bit, but today is my birthday and Father's Day. So what I'm going to show you is what Robin got me for my birthday and something that I've had for a little while. We're going to call this Update 66, even though it's not really a layout update because I haven't been here to do anything. We've been in Flagstaff for about a week and went to the Grand Canyon and are all around Flagstaff, watched a gazillion trains, and I'll probably do a separate video on that, but I may just insert some pictures in here at the end of some of the things we saw. Other than that, I mean, other than driving 10 hours there and not taking us 9 hours to get back, which vastly exceeded what I thought it would take me, we had a good time. Stayed in a real nice RV park with a lot of trees and everything, a lot of nice people in there. Did the Grand Canyon, South Rim. Did the Wapatki Indian Ruins, did a place called Walnut Canyon, and I'll show you pictures of those. I think I'll insert pictures of those too. Those two places were Indian ruins. Of course, there was Indians at the Grand Canyon as well. And let's see, went down to the depot there where the virtual camera is. Actually looked into the virtual camera and gave everybody a heart. I didn't see myself because I didn't get back to a computer to be able to look back far enough, but I was there. Hope everybody, if they're on that virtual camera, somebody saw me. Anyways, if you want to see me, I don't know if that's something you want to do, but nevertheless, I was there, saw the camera, saw a bunch of trains, was there for about, we were there twice, and hung out at the depot for a while. And the first time we went, the trains were running through there about every 10 to 15 minutes. We were there for about 40 minutes the first time, and two times in 40 minutes, two trains passed right at the depot. It's an interesting place. A lot of BNSF there if you're a BNSF fan. Anyway, we'll get to that later. Nothing happening on the layout. What I will tell you is we have one of the grandsons working, well, we have two of the grandsons working on internships for the summer. Gavin is working at the train depot in Las Cruces, and he is absolutely in hog heaven. They're having him build an in-scale layout. Once again, hog heaven. It's going to incorporate two loops, an outer loop, inner loop. The outer loop will have DC and DCC because when the groups come by appointment to look at the layout, they want to be able to run sound locomotives on the outside. The rest of the time, the on and off control for the layout will be remote, so they can have a remote somewhere and they can start it and stop it when they need to. Anyway, he's in hog heaven doing that. He's looking at trains going by the depot. He's going outside talking to all the local engineers and brakemen and everybody, and he's getting to be friendly with all those guys, which is a good thing because we may be able to get an in with the BNSF to call their marketing people and get some things to give away when we have our club out there open during the fair, which we've done in the past, but during the COVID thing, all that kind of fizzed out. I used to also call UP. UP used to always send us a big box of hand fans and kids coloring books and things to give out. I'm going to try that again this year with Gavin's help. And anyway, to get to Ryan, and you guys don't see much of Ryan, but you may in the future here. He's studying journalism and videography and photography. He wants to have something to do with film when he gets older. As luck would have it, we have a film company that has bought a large parcel of property in the middle of Las Cruces, which used to be a cotton gin. And they're planning on using that as a movie stage, what do they call it? A set building. They're going to rehab the cotton gin building, which is it's a huge building. And I think they're going to do sound stages and stuff in there. I don't know what they're going to do, but anyway, they're here. But he did not get an internship there. He got an internship here. So he's been helping us pack and unpack packages, as well as Gavin has been doing. And checking in incoming orders, putting inventory away, taking inventory, doing all that stuff, and he's been doing an absolutely fantastic job. I don't know, I don't think you guys have ever seen him. If so, only as a little tiny kid. But he's enjoying the work here. He's enjoying the internship here and getting to learn how to run the hobby shop. And between him and his brother, and mostly Ryan, the shop remained open when we were gone for that week. And they both were able to print orders, pack orders. Also, he's learning how to do incoming order credit cards for pre-ordered stuff. He's learning everything, and he picks it up really, really fast. So we're getting to the point where we have 2 kids that can help us if we want to go away for a day or 2 or several. And they're almost on the verge of being able to run the business by themselves, so that's a good thing, because someday they will probably inherit this along with their dad. And I think I've mentioned it before. But anyway, that's enough of my rambling bull manure. Let's see what I got for my birthday, and I'll show you another thing and explain to you how I got it. Okay, gang. This item I found from a man who I'm going to buy some stuff from. Eventually, probably. He's trying, his eyesight's going bad, and anyway. He had this, and I asked him if I could buy it. This is another thing that I've wanted ever since I've been doing model railroading. As you guys remember, one of the first ones I wanted was these guys. I got them, got 3 of them. By the way, one of those had a fuel tank hanging down and was catching on track, and I didn't realize it until I looked at it closely, and I have now unscrewed the fuel tank, trimmed a little piece that was sticking out of a baffle in the speaker, and put it back up there, and now everything runs like a champ. Anyway, let's get back to this. He had this. I made him an offer. He looked it up on the computer to see what the going price was, and they are going for around $500 to $600. He offered it to me for $300. I bought it with my money, and then when I brought it home, Robin said, well, why don't you just let me give that to you for your birthday? So she put the $300 back in my account, and here it is. Yep, it's an Overland Models Jordan spreader. It's a Model 200 high blade. I don't know. I don't think that this was a Santa Fe model, but that's what it's going to be. I've wanted one of these ever since I started doing N scale. And let me tell you about the other item I have before we break these out. I was at a convention many years ago, got involved in the auction, and I just had seen this on the table, and I started bidding on it, and people started bidding against me, and I kept bidding. It's one of those things where I bid way too much for it. I got this thing, and it's extremely cool. And I'm going to break them both out and show them to you what their current state is. I have not familiarized myself totally with the Jordan spreader yet. I know there's a couple of... the hydraulic cylinders on it actually have sleeves, and they work in and out, and you can adjust all of the wings as such. But the one on the other side gives me a little problem because the cylinder is not sliding in properly. And I don't want to do too much to it because I'm going to soda blast these things so that I can paint them. But it's kind of cool. Everything on it works. It's got a little flap here that goes back that protects all the mechanism from the snow and so forth if they're doing snow removal. You can see that it's got a high blade snow shovel on it. And I have just always wanted one. I think they look cool. It'll probably wind up being painted and sitting over here in my yard somewhere. Or maybe in the background back there where the end of the maintenance train track is. But nevertheless, I always wanted one. I ran across it, and here it is. It'll be painted, like I say, it'll be painted in Santa Fe. Not sure exactly what color because they had blue and they had black. But anyway, that guy, and just like the real thing, they have to watch out for signs and so forth along the road. And once you put the wing up, it should fold in like so. And I don't know whether it'll get pushed around the layout or not. It may. I may show it going. I don't know. It has no couplers on it or anything. But anyway, we'll get to that. This little guy, this ditcher, is the one that I way overpaid for. I got bidding on it and wound up paying $300 for it, or $300 and something for it. But I just saw it. It just struck my eye, and I just had to have it. And it's just darn cool. Let me see something. Okay, here's kind of a close-up of it. And I'm hoping to paint that as well. We'll turn the boom around here. And there you can see the other side. It's it's really a little gem. It's got a hook up here if they wanted to lift something like a truck or something up. I mean, it's steam powered, but that's okay. I don't care if it matches my era or not. They would still have maintenance away equipment around from years ago. So, that's my 2 birthday presents. Hold on and I'll try and get you a close-up of the spreader. And there's a close-up of the spreader. Until I get that other side fixed and probably get it painted, it's not much to look at until you see all the wings out where they go and everything, and think of all the stuff and hydraulics it took to make these things work. And they're still using them today, you know. So it's something that goes right into my time period anyway. Okay, I showed you guys where the junkyard's going to be, or potentially be. But I think what I want to do is I have all this open space now with no track. I think what I'd like to do is get a bunch of these buildings here up on the layout and see where they could possibly go. I do have just a few down here. The water tank is a no-brainer. McDonald's, I'm not sure I want to use. There's a taco stand inside of that Bachman box. And most of those buildings there belong to the fertilizer plant, other than the greenhouse stuff you see. So there's part of the fertilizer plant there as well. The fertilizer plant is extremely large. I'm not sure how that's going to fit in here. But anyway, and also this mine building right there has been through, pardon the expression, mill. I don't know whether I can even justify using it out here. It's got so many holes cut in it, and it's had a rough life. But we'll see. But I think I'm going to grab some of these buildings out of here and see what I can do. Okay, everybody, here's sort of how the I don't know, I've just laid out the buildings. All the buildings I have are on the layout. And I was goofing with these 4 industries right here. Don't know if that's where I would want them to be. I just come around. I've got the Schmelly Meats. Got to go somewhere. I've got the barrel factory back there. I've got the liquor distributor. I've got Sierra Madre Packing Company. I've got the warehouse. A lot of these are town buildings, the tavern and all that. They remain to be moved. I was thinking about maybe the ice dock back there, which means that the trains would have to run out of the yard onto the branch line, come over here to be iced, and then they could either pull out in the direction they came in, or they could come around and go down the loop and come back out and be turned around. I don't know. I have less buildings than I thought it would take to fill this area up, but here's all the houses and the town buildings. I'm not sure exactly where they're going to go, but now looking at the house and town buildings, I'm thinking that a better place for the town would be over here in this corner, and move the junkyard out of there and put it over on this other side somewhere. I'm pretty sure I want the mobile home park over there by the edge, and I know that that little diner is going to go there next to the station. That gas station right, I have 3 or 4 of them out here, but that gas station right there is going to go somewhere prominent in the front of the layout over here in the city. Sorry about my finger. Got a bus station, got a park. That little green spot there is what I had in the middle of the town on the other layout, and I had a narrow gauge caboose on there. Seemed to have a bunch of train stations for some reason. Don't know what I'm going to do with those. So once I figure out where the town is going to go versus where the industries are going to go, I need to kind of spread the industries out. So I'm thinking that some of the housing may go in this corner, and some of the industries might go here, and I'm thinking the town might go down there and kind of work its way around over to the train station. But like I say, this remains to be seen, but this is almost, if not all, of the buildings that I have out here and industries. I may have to actually build something. But the biggest industry over there is the fertilizer plant, and I kind of like it right there. I may change the angle of it or something, but it could be, let me see if I can get a hold of the camera here. It could be fed going around this corner, a switch right in here somewhere, come down here with a back-to-back switch that splits the 2 tracks here. The 2 tracks come down here, and 1 track goes in front of these 2 buildings, which would be switched in and out, and an outgoing track would be on the outside edge. I'm just not sure. And then, of course, then I'd have to figure out how to get around this corner to these industries facing outward too. I'm trying to make a bunch of these industries face outward so that when you're switching, well, first of all, they don't look unusual. And second of all, when you're switching, you can see the side of the building you need to see. I'm not really sure how this is going to work. But I've also given another thought. I have the icing dock, which is relatively large there. And I know there's a bunch of boxes and crap stacked over there, but I've been thinking about taking out the chemical plant over there and putting the ice dock over there. I think that might be a little more, if not prototypical, make a little more sense. I'm not sure about that, but I'm thinking about ice dock down there, take the chemical plant and move it over here on this end of the layout. We'll see how it goes. I'd like to put it somewhere in the yard, but as you can see, I have really no space. If I could come up with an idea to make some space in there, I would likely put the ice dock in the yard. I'm going to have to give that some thought, because I might try and incorporate it somewhere in the yard. And there's a good opportunity. I'm trying to bend myself all the way around backwards. I feel like an owl. There's a track that goes right there. That comes off of a switch, and it just goes down over there and dead ends. If I could take all those switches there and move them back a little bit, I could swing that track out further and probably put the back of the ice dock over here and have the ice dock facing the back of the layout over there. I'm not sure. I've got a lot of ideas whirling around in my head, which is too many ideas for a little pea brain. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, everybody, here we are in my cigar chair that I just adore. It's the most, if I'm out here working, it takes up a lot of space, a lot of real estate that people could be standing when they're looking at the layout. But I'm out here most. And if I'm working on the layout or something and I want to sit down and I want to relax, this chair is the cat's meow for comfort, I'm telling you. I love it to death. But anyway, here we are in the chair, and if you're still here, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate all of you guys. You can see how tongue-tied I get. I appreciate all of you guys and gals coming here and taking a look at my meager things that I do. And I wanted to throw in here also, take a look at the vintage page. I always remind you of that, and there'll be a link in the description. Also, I have a couple of important parts coming for the Mustang, so we will do a short Mustang video in the near future to show you those parts. And aside from that, that's all I've got for you today. Hope you enjoyed 66, and as usual, thanks for watching.